How did you find out you were getting cheated on? The guy shot me a message on social media, said he was sorry and didn't know she was in a relationship. I bumped into him at a bar years later and bought him a drink. This is exactly what happened to me. Got a message from the other person letting me know what had happened, and that my, now ex, had told them we were broken up. When they found out the truth, they immediately ended it and let me know. My ex-wife had that part covered. Had the affair with a guy in a city 45 minutes away and snuck onto his social media accounts and blocked me so we'd never accidentally cross paths. Typical dude isn't gonna look at that stuff. Maybe a good idea to look at that list sometimes. Edit. For everyone curious about how I caught her. She thought out a lot of it, excuses, logistics, and she's a fantastic liar, but she screwed up on little things and she's disorganized with her stuff in general, like kind of a slob. There was a bag she took to a friend's house that she never unpacked. It was actually sitting open in the closet and I looked down in it while hanging something up and there was a sex toy plainly visible. I started snooping after that and found some other signs. Of course I started going through her Facebook feed from my account and I noticed a few times she tagged someone in a post, but the name wasn't a link and he didn't show up when I searched him. She admitted that she blocked me from his account after I was confronting her about everything. I had basically deleted Facebook years earlier, scrubbed some personal info and hadn't been on it in years, but it still had my picture and said I was married to her, so she didn't try messing with it on my end. Figured the odds that I would snoop were low and she would have been right if she hadn't screwed up. She really wanted to make sure the other guy didn't come across my profile considering how many mutual friends the wife and I had. Her roommates called and asked me to meet them for lunch, said it was important. I met them and they told me she had been cheating on me with her ex the entire time I was deployed. They showed me pictures, back when you had to get pictures developed. They said I was a good man and I didn't deserve to be treated like that. They had collected my things that morning when she left for work and gave them to me. I drove to her work, walked up to her, showed her the pictures and demanded the ring back. She gave it to me and I left. Later she called me yelling about me, conspiring with her roommates, basically trying to make it my fault. She asked what I was doing meeting with them. I said, it's called respect and closure and it sounds like this. I unplugged the phone, landline, waited an hour, plugged in the phone and called the phone company, said I needed to change my number and never heard from her again. I took it really rough and am thankful for her roommates and the friends that got me through probably the darkest time of my life. Open up the tablet to play with it, found an open email that I had never seen before, read the messages between them. I've never been the same since. Divorced now. We were together for 30 years. Edit. I am overwhelmed by all of your love and kindness. Thank you. Love back to all of you. Yes, I tried and wanted to keep my marriage, but he continued to lie and betray me so that I was left with no choice but to divorce. Do you know what helped me so much? My mom, without asking or anything, came over and filled my freezer with crock-pot meals and casseroles. I was so depressed and I had 2 children to care for, and dinner was always so easy just to pop in and be done with. She did that for about a year. Forever grateful for her thoughtfulness and generosity. Edit 2. Together 30 years, not married 30. Sorry for the misunderstanding. Married 24 years. We started dating at 15, married at 21. I didn't have children until my 30s. I was 45 when we divorced. My children were 8 and 10. Thank you all for the stories and praise for my mom. I hope your recovery is faster than mine was. Ouch. My ex left her email logged on my computer. First dozen were Craigslist personals. Found out she got spit roasted in New Orleans by 2 construction workers. Phone bill. She was texting some random number 600 times a month. I thought I recognized the number and when I put it in my phone it was a buddy of mine. Was using her phone for GPS while we were on a road trip because mine had issues when she got a text from the guy we had been in marriage counseling about who she says she hasn't talked to him for months about seeing her tomorrow. 24 years of being together, 23 years married, 2 kids, a house, all down the fucking drain and ruined my life for a guy who could pass for a real-life Ned Flanders. When she left me cause she got pregnant, and thought it was a different guy's. Turns out I was one of 3 possible dads. Couple years later and a few paternity tests and turns out it was mine. She stopped giving me hugs. Sometimes you just know. Fuck guys, thanks for all the love. Together for about 8 years, married for only 3. Crazy story, but we were living in an abusive scenario with another person and she was what was keeping me sane. It was rough to realize she was cheating on me with this guy. I feel better now. Definitely learned over time that questioning yourself and spending time wondering what you could have done different is essentially pointless. A flirty text from a guy popped up on while we were looking at her phone for a place to eat. He complimented a picture I had just taken of her, she sent it to him while around me. Bold. Also, this happened in the Eiffel Tower, only a couple of hours into what was supposed to be 2-week vacation. Painfully long couple days until I could reroute my vacation to be away from her. Ended up being a solid solo vacation. First serious girlfriend. She was the older sister of my best friend at the time. He introduced us, got us together. 2.5-ish years later he randomly calls me. Tells me he overheard her on the phone. He felt terrible about it, but couldn't not tell me. I didn't believe him at first, but he was right. I remember at work a few years after we were all swapping cheating ex stories, and I told this one, and the ladies I worked with were all surprised that a brother would snitch on his sister like that. Without missing a beat, the other guy there said, the bro in bros before hoes doesn't mean biological.
A man knocked on my door and introduced himself as the husband of a woman that my husband worked with. He was there to tell me that his wife was having an affair with my husband. My husband never came home after that. He got an Airbnb and told me to get a lawyer. We had been together for 24 years. He hooked up with random girls when he was supposed to be at his mom's. One evening at a friend's party, there was a girl who wasn't of our group, a friend of a friend. She went, "Oh. Hi, remember me? It was so fun, 2 interesting ones from close friends." Friend's neighbor looked into her house from the 2nd floor and saw him fucking the nanny. They are currently in divorce proceedings, though he's still dating the nanny. The more interesting one is a friend was headed to Thanksgiving with her husband when she got a text from a woman saying, "Your husband has been fucking me and several other women," then gave a list of the women. She was aghast, not sure what to do, then the woman sent pics as evidence. The woman was pissed as he had promised her he would spend Thanksgiving with her instead of his wife, my friend. My friend divorced him. The idiot saved her number as, my little hoe heart emoji. Oh. And the other guy, I found women's sandals in his truck, passenger seat. He said those were his friend's Jeeps. Lol, why would your friend drive in the backseat and his GF next to you? My ex-idiot let his new girl get a hold of his phone and she thought she'd be cute and post a selfie to his Snap story captioned, "Hacked by my beautiful girlfriend, damn." I came home from work one day and my live-in girlfriend was sitting at her vanity putting on her makeup. I asked, "What's the occasion?" She said, "I have a date." Brutal. The girl messaged me from an anonymous IG account letting me know it happened while I was out of town. Maybe I wouldn't have believed it if she didn't provide specific details, like the type of car I drove, that I had let the car less to drive while I was gone. When I saw her reflected in his sunglasses in a picture that he texted me.
The other girl was wearing my clothes in front of me. Edit. Thanks for all the love, guys. The one part of this entire debacle that was hysterical was that she tried to deny that she was wearing my clothes when I confronted her. Until I pointed out the oil stain on the white shirt she was wearing, which my sister caused when she borrowed said shirt without asking. Plot twist. She and I are friendly now and he's off being miserable somewhere else. I decided to get a divorce. Dude wouldn't stop accusing me of cheating. After I left, some mutual friends of ours at the time told me he was on dating sites, etc. When I went back to the house to grab some of my stuff, another woman had moved in, 2 days after I left. It all started to make sense. Apparently it's true, if they're cheating they will accuse you. I don't know all the details, don't want to. Better off sparing my feelings and not knowing all the details than to be ripped apart inside if I do. Fuck that asshole. My friends found out before me and knew they, the cheaters, were going to the movies together. My friends begged me to go see a movie with them so that I could catch them in the act because they knew I wouldn't believe them if they just told me. True friends. My neighbor told me that there was a odd car parked in my driveway when the ex was supposed to be at work. The other woman knocked on my front door and asked me to take my kid and get out so that the two of them could be together and be happy. I told her she could have him, but they'd have to go because technically I owned the house. I then told him he was free to go. He did not go, sadly. She'd been dropped off by her ex who she'd cheated on with my ex-husband. That was quite awkward. The most recent, he left the messages open on my computer. I kicked him out. Most memorable was when I was working as a nurse's aide in a hospital. He showed up at work and I asked why he was there, wasn't expecting him, so he told me that his friend was upstairs in labor with his baby. Told him to be gone by the time I got off work. She was sleeping with her boss, in the most cliched excuses. I really think if she'd said to me the passion and love was gone, we could have divorced amicably, because I was miserable too. But when she cleaned out our house and bank account, well, that changed the dynamic just a smidge. F you, Michelle.